Call of Duty is infested with cheaters, but if you saw my last video, you guys know it's about to get a lot worse. I mean a lot. With the recent return of what many consider to be the great value brand of Call of Duty cheats in engine owning, releasing their Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 cheats. While many of you might just add this to the long list of the reasons that you've already quit playing the game, I'm gonna shed some light on a theory behind why not only it took EO several months to come to market, when other cheats have been undetected and fully functional, as well as being readily available to the public since day one of Modern Warfare 2's beta release. But I'm also gonna dive into the real purpose of why engine owning's finally releasing their cheats this far into a game's life cycle on a video that begins right now. What's up, what's good, YouTube? Hope all is well, and welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Hapa, and on yesterday's video, I covered the announcement from Engine Owning Cheats' official Twitter feed that they were pleased to announce that they're finally making their Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 cheats available to the public. But after many insiders and others that saw the video reached out to me, I decided to dive a bit deeper into the research side of things and why exactly it's taken over 3 months for Engine Owning to finally make these cheats available for sale to the public. And what I've uncovered may lead you to believe, as I do, that Activision is complicit in this situation, or at a minimum, they've intentionally relaxed their security for one reason or another that we'll discuss later on in this video. But engine owning, if you weren't already aware, is one of the most widely used, most in-depth cheating softwares available for Call of Duty games over the last few years, gaining massive popularity with the overall rise of cheating in first-person shooter games, and namely the first Warzone installment. But unfortunately for them and their users, they were often the most targeted provider of Call of Duty cheats, mainly due to their sheer size and user volume that's been rumored to have peaked during Warzone 1 at well over 600,000 active subscribers. That amount of traffic only led to inevitable ban waves targeted at engine-owning users, often resulting in those users copping a hardware ID ban, meaning without replacing their motherboard and other various and quite expensive hardware parts for their PC, every account that they used on that PC and that hardware ID configuration in the future would result in a permanent ban. While many people thought that this was one of, if not the main reason Engine Owning had never released any Call of Duty cheats for Warzone 2.0 or Modern Warfare 2, that they were under some sort of microscope that prevented them from releasing anything viable or secure for their users that wouldn't lead to, more massive ban waves. This, however, isn't the actual case. In fact, since the MW2 beta, EO's been conducting private tests with hundreds, if not a few thousand users testing various functions and applications within the cheating software. But as many people involved in these tests have reached out to me over the last few months and let it be known that they're still struggling for full functionality, as well as, struggling to get more than a few games in before these accounts that they're using are permanently banned. While this alone would lead me to believe that Team Ricochet's got Engine Owning's number, so to speak, meaning that they found a way to suppress Engine Owning's ability to operate smoothly, as when you're as big as EO, it tends to get harder to move around silently. Unfortunately and sadly, after the research that I've conducted and the tips that have been given to me, I'm gonna have to say none of this plays a part in why EO has finally brought their cheats to be available to the public. And it's because I believe Activision has allowed them to. Wait, what? Why would Activision allow the largest cheat provider to sell their cheats if they've been able to keep them out of the game for this long? It's actually a great question. But to understand the answer to that question, you must first understand that while Activision has been successful in undermining any and all attempts from Engine Owning exploiting their game, they've also been massively unsuccessful in keeping anybody else from exploiting the security of their game, bypassing Ricochet and essentially taking the place of Engine Owning within the COD cheat provider marketplace. As seen within posts on elite PvPers, cheating in Call of Duty is still alive and well, almost thriving if you ask me. Although long gone are the days of headshot-only rage hacking, there are still many players willing to spend a few bucks a month to gain an unfair advantage in a Call of Duty game, while Team Ricochet is massively failing in their efforts to stop them. Meanwhile, on top of the growing amount of cheaters and all the other issues within the game, such as the bugs and the glitches and the mechanics players are having a problem dealing with, happen to be just piling up, and it's tending to make the cheating issues just a bit more apparent. Sweaty players and casuals alike have been tending to face cheaters here most recently at a rate that's reminiscent of Verdansk. But with all that being said, they've still prevented EO from regaining their stronghold on the cheat provider market, but EO continued with these private tests even when their beta testers were telling them that they're still getting constantly banned. Some even going as far as saying it feels like since the beginning of the test, they've been using a constantly detected software. But nonetheless, some say quite all of a sudden, EO decided to go public. And here's where things begin to get very dark. All of these testers have reported 0 bans in the last few days since the cheats have become public. Almost like they flipped a switch from detected to undetected. But after 3 months of abysmal testing, it's all good all of a sudden? Or was it Team Ricochet that pressed the off switch for EO to make this possible? Maybe even did a little hint, hint, wink, wink, nod, nod from an anonymous Twitter account to the official Twitter account of EO telling them they may want to go public. Who knows? Give it a try. See what happens. And those people that hit the off switch, they may now be preparing for, a ban wave to say, hey guys, look, I told you there's no cheaters. See, we banned an insert absurd sounding number of accounts in our most recent ban wave. Hashtag Team Ricochet. Boop, boop. Meanwhile, EO has the opportunity to make a quick buck, not that they need to make any more money, but also the opportunity to exploit not only the game, but any user dumb enough to download their software that's accompanied by what looks like a crypto miner. And yeah, since I'm not that dumb, I used a virtual machine just to look and see, if my theory was somewhat in the ballpark. And yep, and they say only dummies and bots download hacks. Huh. I'm neither. Well, at least I don't think I'm a bot. But you're more than welcome to come see for yourself, because I'll be live after I drop this video playing, Apex, of course. A lot higher skill gap. I mean, I know EA has, some of the same issues, but picking a game these days, I don't know, it pretty much feels like choosing a politician to vote for. You're kind of just looking for the lesser of two evils. So in conclusion, EO is back for a few weeks, and while they infect users' PCs with malware, Activision will be aggregating hardware ID data sets to ban the accounts so that they can in turn gaslight with a tweet about fair play and shit. I guess if I had to find some good news out of all this stuff that's about to go down, after some consideration, I guess the good news would be it's probably highly unlikely anybody involved in this coming ban wave is actually going to get any kind of hardware ID ban, because, that would cost you a lot of money. It's pretty expensive. And, replacing your hardware by spending your allowance or lunch money or, whatever you kids do for money these days, because it sure as hell ain't work. While myself, when I started playing Call of Duty, I saved up my home run money. Yep, that's right. Coach used to give us $5 for a dinger. I hit a lot of bombs back in the day. And if you can dig it, smash the like button for me. You want to see more? Stay up to date with all the insider stuff we do on the channel, the behind the scenes stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notification bells enabled so YouTube never lets you miss another upload or when I decide to go live here on YouTube. And if you're a Bengals fan like myself, I want you to always remember the wise words from American author Edward Abbey, who said, "One man alone can be pretty dumb sometimes. But for real bona fide stupidity, there ain't nothing that beats teamwork."
Oh, we're not good. This motherfucker last year. The fuck? Why the fuck did you cut the quarterback?
Catch y'all on the next one.
Hold
Mahalo.
up, little buddy, what is you doing? Finna go hard, hard, hard. Ice on my neck, ice on my wrist. That for the squad, squad, squad. Know they gon' hate, do what I tell them. Get on your jaw, jaw, jaw. Work on smooth, I got the moves. I swear to God, God, God. Hey, I just dropped 200 on a new